Welcome to Popcorn Planet. I am Andy Signore, and Whoopi Goldberg is under immense criticism, and it just felt like a perfect opportunity to do another installment of... They said what? Whoopi Goldberg said what? Oh, she said a lot of things actually in her history, as I did some research this morning on this incident. Let's start where it began. So yesterday, Whoopi Goldberg was on The View, and I'm going to have to start and stop this so I can offer news commentary because this has now become news. ABC, they're very bad. But here's what Whoopi Goldberg said on the show.
Well, also, if you're going to do this, then let's be truthful about it, because the Holocaust isn't about race.
Okay, I disagree, but let's see where she goes with this.
No, it's not about race.
No, it's about
a different race. But it's not about race.
Okay, you said that already. Okay, but it is. But where are you going with this?
It's not about race.
What is it about?
Because it's about man's inhumanity to man. That's what it's about.
But it's about...
I mean, okay, isn't it kind of both? It's definitely about race. I mean, they were like the master race, right? The HIT man was like, they wanted to wipe out all of them but his own, right? I'm not like the best at history, but I'm not going to forget that lesson. How is it not about race? What is she talking about?
About white supremacy.
It's not about
ideal race.
But these are two white groups of people.
Well, how do we have to black people
see them as white people?
But you're missing the point. You're missing the point. The minute you turn it into race, it goes down this alley. Let's talk about it for what it is. It's how people treat each other.
What? What is she talking about?
It's a problem. It doesn't matter if you're black or white, because black, white, Jews, everybody eats each other. So if you're uncomfortable, if you hear about mouse, should you be worried? Should your child say, oh my God, I wonder if that's me? No, that's not what they're going to say. They're going to say, I don't.
Listen, my favorite part of this clip is the producers like pulling an Oscars and they start playing her off because they're like, you can just see the people in the control room who are like, what? They're probably all like checked out. They're like, all right. Yeah. And then they slowly like, what did she just say? And they're literally playing her off.
I don't want to be like that.
Well, hopefully.
I want to be cool.
Yeah.
And
most kids.
And what's so interesting about this as you watch this.
No, they don't.
And we're living in
is Whoopi Goldberg just goes off on these rants as like, you have to agree with her. If you don't agree with her, then you feel her wrath and she will just scream at you. There's countless examples, and I'm going to show you one that's really kind of shocking. But this like attitude that she just expects the audience to agree, the panel to agree. And notice, audience did not like clap with her once on this one because they're like, I think a lot of them are sitting there like, huh? Because they're all accustomed to be like, yeah, Whoopi, yeah, you say your hot take. But they're all very confused in this one.
We're living in an era where people are comparing vaccines.
Okay, so anyway, they go on, they continue to play it, and she's...
So the more you ban it, the more we want to read it.
So that was where it was. I'm entirely confused what she was going for there. She then went on Stephen Colbert last night to try to like address it before she published. Before she published the apology, I think she went on Stephen Colbert. And she sat there and explained that, like, look, it's about skin color. Like, as a black person, you see us and you immediately, treat us differently. Whereas with the Jewish people, you have to, like, do more digging deeper to figure out if they are. And then Colbert's, like, there to assist her. And like, yeah, they had to put the stars on. Like, it just... I don't know. Whoopi just sounds racist to me. If I'm being honest, what she said was pretty bad. I don't think was correct. And what was most telling is as she's sort of justifying what she said, she does like apologize. I'm so sorry I offended anybody. That's never what I meant. Yada, yada, yada. Meanwhile, what's so interesting about Whoopi Goldberg is the fact that, yes, I want to point out, Whoopi Goldberg claims to be Jewish, but doesn't practice the religion, has no Jewish ancestors, and changed her name to Goldberg before embarking on an acting career. How's that for cultural? Goldberg. No, she's not. She just did that to like get famous in Hollywood because she wanted to change her name from Johnson. And so just the irony of her going off on this is just really weird. But this little last bit on Colbert was very telling. After she's like justifying and sort of debating it all and trying to like explain herself defensively, but also like apologize to who she's offended, sort of a half-assed version of the apology, she does this.
I said this wasn't racial. This was about white on white.
That sort of, I mean, she's summing it up in a way that's not really what she said in the moment, but okay, that's what she meant.
And everybody said, no, it was racial. And so that's what this all came from. So once again.
So there she's explaining it. I got to offer commentary because Colbert's even more litigious as we're just clipping here for news sake. So you know where she stood on things. Here's what she says at the end.
Don't write me anymore. I know how you feel.
Stop complaining. I heard you. Enough. I don't need any more complaints. I heard you guys. Okay? Stop complaining.
Okay, I already know. I get it.
She gets it, guys. So don't write her anymore.
And I'm going to take your word for it.
What? Like, do you look at this? I'm going to take your word for it. Okay.
And never bring it up again.
Oh my God! Yeah, exactly. That real heartfelt apology from Whoopi Goldberg over there. My God, what are you doing, girl? Like, this is insane. Like, she's insane. Anyway, so she did have to apologize, which she did do on her Twitter. Today's show, I said Holocaust is not about race, but it's about man's humanity to man. I should have said it's about both. As Jonathan Greenblatt from the ADL said, it was about the annihilation of the, you can read the quote here. I got to be careful on some of the words here. But yes, she stands corrected. Jewish people around the world have been always support me and have never my support for them will never waver. Sorry for the hurt I have caused. Sorry for the hurt I caused. Written with my sincerest apologies, Whoopi Goldberg. So today on The View, which I don't know if I can show it to you because they don't always let us. Today on The View, does this show up? No, they block it out. But she's there, and I can't show you the image because it's censored for copyright's sake. But I watched it just before today's taping to get. They go full on apology mode and bring on Jonathan from the ADL to basically help her and talk about anti-Semitism in the country right now, which is a thing. It is real. That's sort of what they expect. Okay, Whoopi, we forgive you. Yay. All right, you've atoned. You're good. But what's so frustrating is when you go online and you see, I mean, I don't know if I agree with this. I'm curious what you think, but there's a very popular theory. Whoopi Goldberg did more damage today than Joe Rogan did. That's one take. As you go through, this guy's...
She used her race. I feel that I'm black. See, she's using her race as a cover. Let me sit here and say this. Whoopi Goldberg missed, apparently, world history class in high school. Okay, I feel as a black man, as a civil rights attorney, and as a history teacher, that what she said was anti-Semitic, racist, and downplayed that 6 million people were murdered, and their ancestors will never have any type of satisfaction of...
So, yeah, as you can tell, people are heated. People are extremely heated on this one, and they're mad at her, and the takes aren't stopping. The takes are all over the place as she... sorry, I was trying to find more of the... a lot of people. So, yeah, what was interesting, too, is, like, you look at sort of the examples. Roseanne Barr, Sharon Osbourne. These are all people that were, here's a good example. Someone said, Roseanne Barr fired for ABC for a joke, a racist joke tweet that she clarified and apologized for. Not enough. She lost her whole show. She had to sign over the whole show. ABC, Disney, made her go away. Gina Carano, same thing. Fired because she said things, and she didn't even say anything that was against it. She just said, she liked some things I don't agree with, but she never really said anything that was anti anybody. And then Whoopi Goldberg misses the whole. It's like, and she'll just get us pound the. It's the hypocrisy here is wild. I can't deny it. It's like when I'm agreeing with Ben Shapiro on things, I'm always just like, oh, something went south because I don't really like all his takes. I really don't. But as you go through, sorry, I thought I had it here. As you go through some of these people, I mean, Piers Morgan also. What the hell is this? The extremism isn't about race. Will anybody boycott Whoopi Goldberg? Any royals? Anybody over this dangerous misinformation? You know, if Whoopi Goldberg had expressed sympathy with a conservative cause in her entire life, she'd be out of a job today. But leftism confers immunity from anti-Semitism concerns, as we already know from Omar. He's right. I agree with him. That's the culture we currently live in. If you have a conservative viewpoint, and I'm not conservative for the record, I'm open and want to respect people's viewpoints. Politically, it's what the world's supposed to be about. But we've come into such a divisive tribalism world. And what's so frustrating is that, yeah, certain celebrities are treated differently. If you're a conservative celebrity, you're slammed and you must be removed, deplatformed. But Whoopi Goldberg can say these things and, you know, nobody cares. Woke stars get a pass. I mean, I don't always agree with Piers either, but he's not wrong on this. Yeah, a lot of conservative people coming out of the woodwork to sort of slam, but Piers really got me too. Sharon Osbourne literally fired from the talk for defending him over a not real charge of racism. And because she was supporting her friend, she got fired from that show. Whoopi Goldberg says Holocaust wasn't about race, and which is about as racist as a comment could get. She's not going to lose her job, and I don't think she will. And look, to be fair, she shouldn't. But neither should a Sharon, neither should a Gina, neither should a Roseanne. We got to learn to take the apology and move on, like Whoopi just did. Okay, we're going to accept the apology, which is what we should do. We learn, we make mistakes, we say the wrong thing. Nobody should be fired from these shows for saying something wrong, as long as they correct themselves and it's not, they don't stand by being hateful. Then yeah, why not correct them all? But that's not how Hollywood works. And it's frustrating when you go deeper and to look into Whoopi Goldberg. I mean, there's a lot of Whoopsie Goldberg. There's a lot of takes right now going through her history of gaffes. And, I'm not here, but what's interesting is a lot of them have been pulled as you go through the most outrageous moments, defending Bill Cosby, going against George Bush, Carly Fiore. There's a lot of them. The one that was interesting, I had to root around and find because they pull a lot of these because I guess they don't want the evidence. But this one against Rosie O'Donnell was just floored me. Here she is talking about racism again, race. And here's Whoopi, again, taking over the whole show, screaming over everybody, and literally asking someone, say that again, but then doesn't let her. And then has a shouting match with Rosie in one of their most iconic feud moments. And just hear it out.
Wait. Make that point again, because it's very important that people remember who was in the Congress.
They're talking about Obama. And Rosie O'Donnell had said, yeah, well, he couldn't do anything because Congress wouldn't let him.
Well, but the American people elect
also that we elected.
Right.
Democrats are racist too. It's our cultural history.
So the Rosie O'Donnell screaming at Whoopi, dude, all sides can be racist. It's true. They can. And Whoopi's not having it. Listen.
You are a white lady telling me what is racist to you,
which is
fine.
American who's been told what homophobia and hatred looks like.
It's not the same.
I have a black kid I raised, Whoopi. I have a kid in my house.
That is not the same thing.
You don't have to be black to know what racism is.
Yes, you do.
No, you don't.
Yes, you do.
Whoopi, man. Look, she's allowed to have her opinion, but so is Rosie. This is the exact problem with I feel like what's happening. Rosie says she has a black kid. She's gay. She faces discrimination all the time. I don't know, man. This is Whoopi is frustrating to me in this situation. Does Whoopi have a right to feel the way she does? Yes. But so does Rosie. And this idea that only a black person can face racism while you have Rosie Perez Latina there. I think of Laverne Cox here, who's not having what Whoopi's saying either. It's just, you see just how intense Whoopi controlling she gets and stubborn.
You do, baby.
You do not.
Yes, you do. Let me
I think that there's so many white folks out there
So she's tries to save it. Look, a lot of people are helping, but you can just tell how fuming is. But it's always interesting when you go back and look at the history of Rosie O'Donnell was the problematic one. Rosie was causing so much stress, and she really did get the brunt of all of it, while Whoopi got protected, and is still in the show. And you go back and you realize, look, Rosie is not the perfect person either. She says a lot of crazy things herself. She's gotten very aggressive on the show. But in this instance, I don't know. I think Rosie was fair. and lost it fairly because Whoopi just wasn't allowing anyone else to have an opposing viewpoint on the show that's called The View. And that's sort of just Whoopi in general, in my opinion, these days. I don't get it. Look, should she be fired? No. I never think anyone should be fired over if they correct themselves. If they make a mistake and they want to correct themselves, we don't need to go back through all the history of the terrible things someone's done. I don't think that's helpful. However, the hypocrisy here is real. Like, why does Whoopi get a pass when so many other more right-leaning seeming people immediately get thrown over the cliff at one mistake? It's frustrating. I gotta say, I can see why the other side is frustrated on that, and I'm gonna report on that because I don't like what Whoopi Goldberg said. Thankfully, she apologized, but when you go and you look deeper, she doesn't believe it. I will just... What was the line again? Oh my God, I hear you.
Word for it.
I will take your word for it.
And never bring it up again.
Like, look at that smug. Okay, I have to do this, so I'm gonna do it. I don't believe a word I'm saying, but, I'm so sorry. So sorry. This bothers me, man. So then, of course, the next day on the show, she reads a whole telepromptered apology, gets the ACL to support her so they can, promote what they have going on. And, we're all good. Let's move on. What do you think? Are you going to move on? Does this bug you? Should Whoopi Goldberg have to face some more accountability on this? Should she take a leave of absence for a little while before she comes back? What do you do in a situation like this? When so many people are getting thrown under the bus and losing jobs on these types of shows for defending Piers Morgan, and this is going to get by? I don't know. Something is weird to me. Sharon Osbourne apologized too. Why did she get the boot? I don't get it. Explain it to me. Before you do, make sure you're subscribed. Hit that subscribe button. Hit the bell for alerts. Smash that like button. And leave a comment down below on your thoughts on this. Again, I don't want to fire her. Nobody should get fired on these things unless you're a terrible person. But I don't know. I just feel like this is... Given the world we live in, something else should have been done here against Whoopi. What do you think, though? Let me know. Check out these videos. We'll be live today around 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time here daily on Popcorn Planet.